I have the privilege of speaking with Brent about home maintenance and DIY improvements that home buyers should consider when they move into a different home. And Brent, thanks for hanging with us. Home maintenance tasks, what do you recommend home buyers should focus on first?
I would say the first and most important thing is HVAC systems. You know, the heating and cooling of your home, making sure that you change out your filters every 1 to 3 months. More often if you have pets. It's one of those things that is overlooked the most. And also scheduling that yearly service on that system. Any HVAC company will come out, they'll clean it all out and make sure your Freon levels are correct and your burners are burning the way they're supposed to.
We were talking about that. I mean, filters are so important, and you see that firsthand when you do inspections.
We see that it's overlooked a lot, whether it be by just not being educated, knowing that that needs to be changed out, but it's one of the things that limits and degrades a system. You know, like your furnace, a lot quicker over time when it's not maintained.
Let's go to outside, external maintenance. So what are some of the recommendations and tasks that homeowners, in terms of, it's a big investment to buy a house, to protect that investment?
Again, we'll fall right into the number one, which is your downspouts, your gutters. It seems like such a simple thing, but making sure that they're cleaned out, the water can flow, and that the downspouts actually are at least 4 to 6 feet away, because that water, if it gets pushed back towards the foundation, it creates what they call a hydrostatic pressure. It pushes into the home and into the foundation, and it can really mess things up.
All right, some good stuff there, Brent. Let's talk, kind of staying with water, let's go over to plumbing and recommendations in terms of improvements and maintenance for plumbing.
So again, it comes down to changing out some of your faucet shower heads to a low flow style. And what that does is it reduces the amount of water that you're using. And simple things like changing out your water heater to a higher efficiency. Cleaning it out every year. You're supposed to drain your water heater. Most people don't even realize that. So it's one of those very important steps that you got to keep in mind.
How about recommendations and tasks in terms of just overall safety in our homes, Brent?
Well, we always have a number one, and that's smoke detectors, that's carbon monoxide detectors. Making sure you test them every 6 months. And they're only supposed to be installed for about 10 years at max, and getting them changed out on time, making sure they work. And also having fire extinguishers where they're readily available to your family.
So, and also here in the upper Midwest, we have to be conscious of radon, right?
It's very true. We have one of the highest concentrations. Getting your house tested, the EPA recommends every 3 years, even if you have a system installed already. And if it's higher, then what you want to do is they come in and they do a mitigation system in there that actually helps reduce that from your house.
Brett, I like that point you mentioned, because we all we might move into a home and we see it has smoke detectors, but to think about how old that smoke detector might be, that's a great point, right?
Yep. So they're only designed the sensors in them only work well for a certain amount of years. You'll also see one of the easiest ways to tell is they start to discolor after a certain amount of years, and you'll see them turn to that like almost yellowish color. That's always a great sign that it's probably time to be changing them.
I like that point a lot. Here on PowerHouse, Brent, we talk about comfort and how can homeowners, in terms of maintaining a comfortable temperature in their home.
So again, the thing that we see the most, especially in older homes, is making sure you stop any of that airflow coming in around windows and doors. As simple as putting in a new door seal around your door can change a lot with that comfort level. Because when you're bringing in that unconditioned air from outside, it makes your system work harder and it runs more often. And it's always important to know how much insulation you have in your attic. Again, you fall into these pre-1980s homes and it can be a very low amount, and it's something that is very easy to add to.
Okay, so again, someone could, as you mentioned, add some insulation, and I imagine, again, as we look around, caulking on windows, that's probably, you eyeball that right away.
Oh yeah, air sealing is very important.
As we talk about, expenses on our energy usage, we certainly think about appliances and lights that go in. How can consumers, in terms of how can we reduce our usage, and then what maintenance tasks can go along with that?
So what I always tell people is when you first move in, it's really easy to swap out all your incandescent bulbs or whatever with an LED bulb, which costs a lot less to run. And you can even get full fixtures that change the energy usage. Another great way to deal with that is having motion sensors for your switches, so that when you walk into a room it lights up, but when you're not in there, you're not using it, it'll actually shut itself off. Learning how to do that. If you don't go that route, just learn to shut them off when you leave.
Well, Brent, all great tips that you've shared, some great information in terms of running and maintaining a well looked after home. And if you'd like more information about maintenance and energy saving ideas for your PowerHouse, visit our website at powerhousetv.com.